Bathurst, where another of the big guns is Alan Jones. It seems Jonesy has done it all. Well, almost. The only thing that has eluded him is the classic on Mount Panorama. But in 1996, that could all change. You see, the former world #1 is, to date, without a major sponsor for 1997, and there's no better way to gain corporate attention than by winning.
I do motor racing now because I enjoy doing motor racing. People come up to me and say, oh, you know, you're mad. When you stopped Formula One, you were at the top and your ratio of wins per races and all this bloody nonsense, you know. Well, so what? That means nothing to me. What means the most to me is my happiness and what pleasure I derive out of doing it.
He tells it like it is. It's confidence, and it's always been that way with Alan Jones. It's part of his success.
A little bit of history being made now that you're looking at. Alan Jones being cheered by the crowd, the checkered flag being raised for him. And Alan Jones wins the Australian Grand Prix.
It's the perfect illustration of motorsport in the 90s. Gone is the stereotype long hair, tatty overalls and grease under the fingernails. You see, the race is no longer just on the track. Motor racing is a twofold proposition. Just as important as the on-track success is the off-track image and the battle for corporate dollars. Sponsorship has dried up for Alan Jones. His Bathurst campaign will be the last under the banner of Philip Morris. His resume reads like an honour roll of international motorsport. The winner's circle was his mailing address. His first season as team owner and driver has been of mixed results. The learning curve to success has had more diversions than anticipated. But Jones is a long-term investment. His business has been structured for the future. Success will come.
There's obviously nowhere near the money in motorsport in Australia than what there is in Europe, the same as there's nowhere near the people in Australia than what there is in Europe. But, you know, it's been very good to me, and I wouldn't have anything changed for anything. I mean, if I could do it all over again, I would.
A remarkable mix. Look at Alan Jones, gets very sideways.
Probably the biggest attribute you can have in any sport or anything you do is determination. You've got to be determined to see the job through. I think if you start something and don't finish it, or you let somebody tell you that you're not good enough or whatever, you follow your own judgment and you be determined.
The void in his professional life is Mount Panorama. Victory has, to date, eluded him. He teams with the experienced Alan Grice for the 96 race and is confident his pack leader Falcon can do just that.
Car 27, Christian Jones through the pack into 4th place and hot on the heels of the top 3 as they come down to the in-lane straight and to the right hand.
His birth certificate may not be in mint condition anymore, but the surname certainly has a positive future. For Christian Jones, the transition from a school desk to driver's seat wasn't that hard. Motor racing is in his blood. From an early age, he was given an insight in the world of wheels, but it hasn't necessarily been any easier with a famous father.
It's all to do with money, really. If I can get the sponsorship, which I haven't got a good sponsor at the moment, a large sponsor. If I can get the money, I'll go overseas. But other than that, you know, it doesn't matter who you are or how good you are. If you haven't got the money, you're not going to go anywhere.
He genuinely wants to be a racing driver. And I don't think he wants to be a racing driver so he can walk around in overalls or say he's a racing driver. He wants to be a racing driver because he wants to be a racing driver, and there's a big difference. And just for that end, I hope he reaches his goal or fulfills his dream.
Within Alan's Gold Coast headquarters, the future of Jones Jr. is being planned.
Just make sure if you're going to try and you can get it done like pretty well straight away, so it's going to be 30 degrees with thunderstorms in the afternoon. Yeah, right under the helmet. Too right. Guys, just check the throttle maybe it still might be a little bit too stiff. I don't know. Might be getting in the way of the traction control.
If confidence alone ensured success, Christian is well on his way to victory lane. It of course doesn't, but ask any good judge and they'll tell you he'll get there anyway.
In all honesty, he is a good kid. He's, you know, he doesn't big note, he's down to earth, he likes to do his own thing, doesn't like to trade off the name, in fact shies away from it, you know, when I've given him the opportunity to sometimes. So, no, I'm very happy with the way he's been brought up, or the way he's turned out.
Jones's aim is the same as the other 35 entries at Bathurst, but to achieve that elusive victory, he'll have to end the fairy tale run of young gun Craig Lowndes, who has dominated the domestic scene this year. Lowndes travels to Europe next season. Jones has been there and done it, and warns Lowndes he'll have to prove himself over again.
He'll be another name in the program. There'll be people over there aware of the fact that he comes over with a good reputation for having done what he did in Australian touring cars. But like I've got to tell you, they'd probably say, what's Group A?
Jones has already established himself. He doesn't need to prove his worth at Mount Panorama. In saying that, he'd love nothing more than victory, but success is a personal thing. And whatever the future holds, Alan Jones will always be regarded as a winner.
Yes, and don't